God's Country Taxidermy, we offer a large variety of services on white-tailed deer. We do anything from any shoulder mount you would want, to hydro dipping, to plain arrows, to any plaques you would want. Located 25 miles north of Mountain Grove on AF Highway, and I would appreciate your business, so if you get a big one this year, come and see me.
Got a rifle on a hunting rack, best friend in the back, old hound riding shotgun. I got a camouflage mud truck, looking for a big buck, creeping through the dusky dawn. Big bright floodlights cutting through the dark night, make a path to the deer stand. Pray to God on
God's Country Taxidermy. My number is 417-464-6782, and I'd appreciate your business.
fire up your guns, draw back your bows, let the lay down, let the hammer go. Put some meat on the table, horns on the walls, take a picture, show it off to your pawpaw. You're a different kind of animal, hiding in the brush. Look at what it does when hunting's in your blood.
Hey everybody, this is Landon, pro staff with Wildlife Overdose and owner of God's Country Taxidermy. Today I'm going to show you everything you need to know from gutting your deer all the way to properly caping your deer and getting it to your taxidermist. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is get your deer gutted. You want to take all his junk off of him. Then when you get to this part, put 2 fingers in there. That way you don't poke a hole in that gut, and just kind of ease it up through there. And when you feel that get hard right there where that brisket is, that's where you want to stop, right at the back of that brisket, to make sure you don't get up in there too far. You just roll all this out of there. Reach all the way up in there, and you just cut that windpipe loose from the heart and lungs, and it'll all roll right out. Alright, we're going to rinse this out real good with some good cold water, and that'll help cool that meat off, keep it cool while you're doing what you got to do, and it'll also clean any of the insides, blood, or anything else that's in there that you don't want up against your deer meat. So just rinse it out real good, and get it as clean as you can get it in there, and that'll help you have the best meat possible. Alright, we're going to start out caping your buck out. First thing you want to make sure when you gutted him, you want to make sure not to cut no farther than where it gets hard right there. And our first cut we're going to do, when they're hanging up like this, everybody thinks you want to cut them right behind the front shoulder. Well, when they've got weight on them and pulling that down, that hide's pulled down. So I like to get as much as you can and have plenty. Go back about a good 6 to 8 inches and cut all the way around your deer. See how when you cut that hide falls down? It's got a lot of pressure on it out there. If you would have cut that right against the shoulder, you'd have a short cake. Too much is better than not enough, so don't cut it short. We can always throw a little away, but we can't add extra to it. I like to get it as clean as I can and keep as much meat off of the hide as I can, because I have to take that all off later, and it just makes my job a little bit easier. So after you get that done, you get that all started working it around, you come down here to the front legs and you go right above where the knee is on the front leg, and you just cut around it. White line that goes right up the back side of the deer's leg, right up behind the front shoulder. All the way up to your first cut. And then you just work the hide all the way around it. Do your best to get as much meat as you can off, but try not to make no cuts, no nicks or cuts in it. A little nicker cut I can deal with, it can be fixed. Then we're going to do the same thing with the other leg. Just right above that kneecap, all the way around it. Follow that white on the back of the leg, right straight up the back of the leg behind the front shoulder. You gotta be careful when you get down here around this brisket. That's the easiest place to cut into that hide a little bit. It's pretty thin right there. So just take your time, work it out of there. Because the less cuts and nicks you have in it, the better product you'll have back. Okay, now we're going to keep working this neck down. Just as much as we can get it down there. You want to cut past where you're actually going to cut it off at. It makes it a lot easier whenever I go to skinning, not having to flip around in there and try and pull that meat out. And if you go past it, whenever you take your saw and cut through this bone, you won't hit this hide and rip it with your saw. Alright, so you go down and you want to leave a good 6 to 8 inches of neck on there, because I have to have this measurement for your form. So you want to be sure and leave plenty of neck on it. Okay, now that you've got it skinned down pretty close to here, you want to leave at least a hand's length, at least 6 inches. And you just want to come in there and just cut right around that all the way to the bone. And don't lose your knife blade like I did. Alright, then when you get that cut to the bone, just grab your saw. And your deer's caped, ready to go to your taxidermist. Alright, now that you've got your head off your deer and he's caped for your taxidermist, make sure you have him hanging up pretty high when you do this, because you don't want to roll this cape in the dirt. When you get dirt and gravels and stuff in there, the more dirt you got on it, the more bacteria you're going to have. When you got bacteria, you get slip tear, and it just don't make for as good a finished product. So try and keep the cape as clean as you possibly can, and you'll have a lot better product. Okay, now that you have your deer caped, you need to either get it straight to your taxidermist, or you need to roll this hide up. And when you roll the hide up, you need to make sure there's no exposed skin. So roll it up good and tight and put it in a trash bag. If it's just going to be in the freezer a day or two, one trash bag is fine. Roll it up, put it in there. If you're going to have it in there a week or so, I would double bag it. But we will roll it up and I will show you how to do it. Alright, so this is the part you don't want to get freezer burnt, the inside. So you stretch it out real good and you just kind of fold the end of it and roll it up nice and tight there. Take your trash bag, set it in there just like that. If you've got a really big set of horns, if you can put the whole thing in there, but if you got a really big set of horns, you can just pull this up tight around your horns right here and tie your bag off. Take the second bag, and pull over the whole thing. Try and get all the air out of it that you can. Your horns may poke through, but that's alright. That's why we're double bagging it. And now your head and your cape are ready to go in the freezer until you can get it to your taxidermist.